Hello, it's March 30th, 2024. This is Paul and Melanie at I Was Hungry Garden Ministry. And we're looking at a photograph here of our group this morning. We had a lot of folks come out. We had Marcia and Anita and William.
I think we know as
well. No, this is before you got out here. And Anita, Jonathan, Marcia, and then here we have Kim, Melanie, Allison, Sue, and Jan, and we collected probably about 80 pounds of food, I'd say, maybe 100 pounds of food, and thanks to Melanie for taking that to the branch ministry. The other Melanie, not this Melanie.
This is
my Melanie. I'm surrounded, and I've asked for terms of peace. So we had a great time. We picked lots of turnips, lots of kale, collard, broccoli greens, really healthy stuff, and we're asking everyone to pray for Felicia, who's having a little challenge. We won't go into any specifics. A little under the weather kind of situation. And so we're hoping and praying that she's on the mend and can open the big box of seeds that came and is waiting for her special touch. And so, but we're going to talk to you today about several things that have come up this week. I'm going to change cameras here, and let's go here. Okay, we're still good. Mm-hmm. And that was our photo this morning. We didn't get to do a video out there. It was kind of windy this morning. So we're hoping it'll be better audio here. So what are we going to talk to the people about today, Melanie?
Well, you had read an article, I think.
Oh, yep. I read an article today. So an article appeared in The Guardian, which is a UK paper, talking about how, and this is, our science is just totally run amok, in my opinion. It's all money motivated, focused on creating intellectual property patents to make money. And so what they're saying in this article is that the foods that we're eating are very depleted of micronutrients. And we all know that the soils are depleted of micronutrients and that people aren't getting the nutrition that they need. And you can reference last week's video and about the microbiome and how people are eating sterilized food that doesn't have soil organisms in it, so they're missing out on the nutrition. But we all know that the soils are very depleted also, and so people are literally starving. People are hungry. Even though they're wealthy, living in big, expensive houses, they're micronutrient deficient. They're essentially metabolically hungry. And so this article was saying that was because of global warming. And the logic was this, that the global warming produces too much rain that stunts the plant, that hurts the plants and causes them to be micronutrient deficient. Totally ridiculous. And then their solution to this was to genetically modify the plants to create more nutritious plants so as to solve the problem. So we're in deep trouble, folks. If people like this are able to publish something like that without total mayhem and anarchy resulting from it, we need to step up. We need to speak out against this sort of tyrannical science that is killing people, literally killing people. And so these are the people that are running the food system that is also killing people, because we're getting food that's totally micronutrient deficient, and people are getting obese because they're never satiated and never feel full. So I have a friend, and I'm not going to say his name. Well, I'm hoping he and I are going to do a video soon. Great guy, been a friend for many years. We were in the ministry together, and he came to me about 6 to 9 months ago and said, "Paul, I'm really struggling. I've got all sorts of health problems. I'm basically dying. My whole physiology is shutting down, and I'm going to be dead. Basically, I'm going to be dead soon. The rate I'm going." And I said, "Well, I'll call him brother, because that's what we call each other. But he has a name, and his identity will be made known." I said, "Well, brother, what are you eating? Well, how are you taking care of yourself? And so I talked to him a lot about Dr. Joel Fuhrman's nutritarian approach, where you eat nutrient-dense food and try to get as much nutrition per unit calorie as possible. So that ratio of nutrition to calories, try to keep the nutrition high and the calories low. And he'd put on quite a bit of weight, and but he was ready to change. And so I said, brother, here's what you got to do. You got to eat more plants, more raw fruits and vegetables, basically, and try to boost that. And I showed him a lot of Joel Fuhrman videos, and off he goes. And now here we are, and he was also fasting. He and I had been fasting 1 day a week together, and so doing quite a bit of that. And I was just sort of coaching him along here and there. He was eating it up, though. I mean, he was taking the initiative, and he was digging into it. I wasn't telling him a whole lot. So he goes to his doctor this week. He goes to his general practitioner, and they say, it's a miracle. What did you do? And he tells them, and they can't believe it. And they're just astounded and amazed. And then he goes to his urologist. Us men have to have our prostates checked, and gets his prostate checked. And I think what my brother said is that they can't. It's so small that it's indetectable. It's absolutely totally changed, totally better. He had an enlarged prostate, I think was the situation, and totally better. And it's a miracle. And what did you do? And
who's paying who?
And so he pays the bill and leaves. And so he gives them his playbook and tells them what they're doing, and this is and I say to him, I said, brother, doesn't that sort of bother you that you go there to get their help, and you're having to figure it all out yourself and get well all by yourself? And
pay them.
And he was
a lot of money.
Yeah, pay them, and he's saying my friend Paul in Nashville helped me, and he's out of state, and doesn't that bother you? And he goes, well, no, that's the way it's always been. They're in it for the money. And I said, well, if they're in it for the money, then who's in it for us? Who's helping us to get well and stay healthy? All this science that we have, all this medical science.
All the research.
Yeah, all the research that we funded and done all these marathons for and worn all these ribbons for. And that's not helping us, because these are food-borne illnesses. Heart disease, cancer, all these issues, diabetes, all these diseases all the pathology out there, just about all of it is food-borne illnesses. People eating the wrong foods, being addicted to the wrong foods, and eating nutrient-deficient foods, and eating too much of the wrong foods. And so doesn't it bother you that you know more than they do at this point, and that you're actually getting better because of your own efforts, even though you're under their supervision? And so we had this conversation, and I had a similar situation with my doctor. I went to the doctor.
You almost got thrown out of the office.
Yeah, so I went to the doctor, and he told me that I needed to be on statins. I was maybe 50 years old. I'm 62 now. And I said, no, those have all sorts of problems with, short-term memory loss, and there's all sorts of issues with those. And so we were back and forth, and he was about to throw me out of the office. And I've been thrown out of places before. I was, I'm not a quiet person. The truth needs to be made known. And so I can tell when I'm that close to being, shown the exit.
You know the look. I
know the look. The ears go back. It was kind of like a horse. The ears go back, and you're going to get kicked. But he didn't throw me out. And so I went back the next year, and for my annual checkup, and he's looking at his chart, and he's looking down at my midsection, and he's doing this, looking at my weight, looking at my new weight, old weight, new weight, and I see him going back and forth, and he goes, Paul, what have you been doing? You've lost 50 pounds. And I was infuriated because I had to figure it all out myself. All my blood work was back to normal. No more statins. No more, putting you on meds. No more high blood pressure medicine. None of that. And he says, what did you do? And I said, diet and exercise. And I was furious because he's supposed to be helping me. So I fired that doctor. I went to the new doctor. it's a woman. So I go to her. I think I probably skipped a year, maybe 2 years later, and I'd lost about 70 pounds, maybe 80 pounds at that point. Gone from 245 to 175. The blood works.
And you were just going for a general checkup. There was nothing wrong.
Yeah, nothing wrong. And so blood works just totally in the clear. And I had high cholesterol and all sorts of high blood pressure and all sorts of issues. And so she talks to me, and I tell her, this is what I'm doing for my diet, and these are the foods I'm eating, and she's very interested. And she was supposed to be a holistic doctor. That's why I went to her, and she's very interested. And then, but I didn't go back for 3 years. So I go back after 3 years, and she tells me, "Oh, man, when you were here 3 years ago, you told me all these things, and I've been doing that, and I've been losing weight, and I'm feeling great, and I'm doing awesome." I'm like, "Oh, that's good. I'm glad I paid you for, I'm paying you to help you, and I'm paying you that you're supposed to be helping me." But I didn't say anything,
She's a nice lady.
She's a nice lady, and she's very, very grateful. But she kept me there for and so now she's got my, baseline 3 years later, and she's like, "We don't even need to check this other stuff. I know it's fine. And your blood work is amazing." And, they listen to my heart, and they say they have a heart of a 20-year-old. Now, I'm prepared to drop the next soccer game. I could be laying on the field. But, that's on Sunday. But I'm not taking anything for granted is what I'm trying to say. But they say I have a heart like a 20-year-old. It's like whatever that means. I don't know what that means. But she keeps me there for 45 minutes asking me more questions, trying to get my playbook. And I'm giving it to her, I'm saying, well, this is what I do. And we got this garden ministry. I'm giving away free food to anyone who wants it. We're wasting 95% of the food in this garden ministry. But she says to me, I've been doing all these things you told me about, and I'm getting so much better. I'm losing weight. I'm running faster and jumping higher is the long and short of it. And so I've got to go back and for my annual checkup, and I don't know what to do. I mean, I've got to pay her to do this, and it's just kind of fruitless. And who's helping us? If we got the medical system out there and the food system out there that are, you eat the food, you need the medicine, and then you take the medicine and you go into this downward spiral, circling the bowl, as we say, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And so in order to break out of this cycle, we're just doing this garden ministry. We're offering free food. We're here Wednesdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m. And we're giving away free food. And we have loads and loads of really nutrient-dense free food. It's not grown with any manures or any blood meal or bone meal or none of that,
fish stuff,
fish emulsion, none of that gross, dead animals, no dead animals and no poo. Okay, we're growing out of really good soil that's been tested to be full of micronutrients. And so if you want to get well, contact me. Come get our free food. And it's based on the passage in Matthew 25 where Jesus says, "I was hungry and you gave me something to eat." And we have wealthy people that live in Belmead and Brentwood and all these places, and they're very wealthy, but they're hungry because they're eating food that's grown on bad soil, basically, and it's devoid of nutrients because it's sterilized. And, watch the video from last week to go into more detail on that. And then, Jesus in that passage says, "I was sick and you looked after me." And so a lot of doctors are putting their patients on nutrient-dense diets. So we have the Heimerdinger Foundation comes in, and these are it's a meals program. They deliver hundreds of meals a week to cancer patients and their families, and the idea is to get nutrient density into their bodies to fight that support the immune system and fight the cancer. Very effective. It's very effective, and so we have the Heimerdinger Foundation. And then we have Ginny Harper's ministry in Franklin. What's that called?
What's it?
You Can Heal You.
Heal You.
You Can Heal You. And Ginny's helping a lot of people with colitis and Crohn's and irritable bowel and just all kinds of diseases, cancer. And they come to her, and she has a program that she puts them on, a nutrient-dense program, and people see great results. I know these people. I've been friends with them for years, and they say, well, I came to Ginny because I had X, Y, and Z, and and I'm better now. And so she comes with her assistant Anna, and they get food, and we give it to them for free. And so yeah, what am I leaving out, Melanie? Is there anything we need to tell folks about today's meeting?
What do we harvest? We harvested.
We harvested
turnips, and
kale, broccoli,
and the flowers.
Yep, broccoli, flowers.
Somebody was saying that restaurants pay high dollar for the flowers, but
so what happens with the broccoli and the turnips and the kale is it I guess it's all in the Nebraska family. It could be butchering that, but so you got the root, so you harvest the turnips, but they bolt, so they shoot up a stalk, and then yellow flowers come on the stalk. But the flowers are delicious, but they don't last very long. But they're beautiful on a salad. So we have tons of those, and the ones that don't get picked, and there'll be most of them, will be I'll harvest the seeds off of them and plant them next year. And it's always good to keep your own seeds because they're
genetically modifying those too.
Yeah, and you don't have to pay for them, but they're more suited to your soil because they've been grown in your soil. So we'll harvest our own seeds, and so we have a lot of broccolini now, and a lot of parsley, and just a lot of really good things. And we're planting a lot of things, and we're very blessed to have such a great well, and so many really good tools. Like we use cordless tools mostly, a tractor, and we have beautiful soil. We're right by a creek, so we have tons of really good alluvial bottom soil, as they say. And so it just grows like crazy, and we every year it's so good. We're so blessed. All the things we're going to plant and grow, and it's just amazing. And so
you didn't mention the seeds that arrived.
Yep, we had placed a big Johnny's seed there in Maine, and we bought a lot of new seeds, and we're excited about growing them. There's some funny looking pancake squash. There's some soybeans. Or they're not genetically modified. There's purple carrots and all sorts of strange things that Felicia picked out that I don't know what they are, but I'm excited to learn about.
$500 worth of seeds.
Oh my goodness, you spilled the beans. Yep. And so hey, I've been blessed, so why not? So we'll grow tons of food with those seeds. And Felicia, when she feels better, will come over and show me what to do. And
the seeds that have been prayed over too.
And they've been tell them about.
So we took the box of seeds to our prayer group yesterday, and we'll pray over the seeds.
We have a prayer group meets Friday. It's usually about 8 or 10 people, and everyone laid hands on the unopened box and prayed over them. So it was a bit charismatic, but why not? Why not call it down? And we need help. There are a lot of people like my friend that I call brother that are just really sick and really hurting. There are a lot of hurting people out there, and the garden is the answer, folks. When God created man, where did He put him?
In the garden.
He put him in the garden. Yeah, you can
Not
read.
in what do you call? I call it an abattoir, but what do you call it in America?
Slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, He didn't put him in Kroger's or Publix. He put him in the garden, because that's a great place to connect with God. That's a good reason. God created us in His own image because He wanted a relationship with us, and then He put us in the garden, and so we could. So you definitely feel God's presence in the garden. You see the abundance. You see the provision. The stuff's growing out of thin air. It's just materializing moment by moment out of thin air, and it's amazing. And you can eat it, and there's so much freedom there. You can save the seeds and plant them over again. It's and the rains come. We have so many beautiful rains here in Tennessee. How do you say it? It rains and then the sun comes out. It's just amazing. It's like plant haven. When I'm from New England, it would just sort of rain all day and for day after day because you're by the ocean. But here it rains and the sun comes out and the plants just get stoked. And they go, and it's amazing.
So, the backyard.
Yeah, is there anything else we got to tell folks?
Somebody in the backyard?
We'll be here Wednesday night, so come on down, give me a call, inbox me, as they say, send me a message. If you want to come on Wednesday, I'll give you the address, and we'll do great things. That's the idea, is to do great things, trying to help folks in the community here, and that's what we're all about. And thankful that we're strong enough to do the work and get the food planted. And pray for Felicia. She's a little under the weather, but I know she'll bounce back. She'll probably be at ballet this afternoon, hopefully. Yeah. So what are you drinking?
I'm drinking, well, it was a green smoothie. Where's the camera? It was a green smoothie, but I added blueberries to it. And so it's got blueberries, banana, turmeric, black pepper, because the black pepper, when you add it to turmeric, it sort of increases the effect. It turbocharges it by 20 times for anti-inflammatory. What else has it got in? Chia seeds, ashwagandha.
Can I have a sip of that?
Yeah.
It looks pretty healthy.
It was a little bit medicinal at first. That's why I added the blueberries, and but it's
that's good.
It's good. It's got kale.
Yep.
What other? Oh, parsley. Parsley,
yeah. To taste that.
And what else?
I'll put hair on my chest. So one other thing. Speaking of my chest, I'm going to show my chest. Can you see that? Powisset Farm. You see that? I'll try to straighten it out here. So I'm wearing this in honor of my father today. My father was a great gardener, and he loved to come to the garden. And he worked a lot at Powisset Farm before he came to Tennessee. Volunteering, yeah. And he passed last year on April 29th. But we remember him as we see spring. He died in the height of spring, and probably his favorite time. And I know he's in a much better place and looking down on us. And I know he's proud and happy that so many people are being fed. That was what he was all about. And so we miss the people at Powisset Farm, Meryl, and I know she's moved on, but all of his friends there, a special hello to you. I know he loved you and misses you a lot. And so anything else for the folks? Are we going to wind it up there?
That's about it.
Okay, I'll hit the button here and we'll stop. And we will.
If you have any questions about what we're doing, just leave it in the comments below.
Yeah, or email me. I'm easy to find on Facebook, and and we'll do some great things together. My mouse is frozen, so I can't stop it.